Anyway, I pointed at one point. At one point, I pointed. See, so I used something where I pointed. I just acted goofy in public and I pointed at something, and now everyone is pointing. Like it doesn't. It's like this is now a thing. They've also been using all this conditioning and behavioral shit because they have they've been mimicking the tarot. And I believe that they've been getting sick from it. They'll cross one leg in front of the other, they'll walk down the sidewalk with their arms crossed. And when I say they, I mean like all the people who smoked bad pot and like got sick. So they had been gassing me with drugs in the shelter and then giving me scabies repeatedly. And so now it's sort of like, oh, this is the best bit. See, it's a robot. It's in black and white and it's a robot because that means you're literate or you use computers or technology. Because, you know, this is San Francisco, but like half these people have no fucking clue how to use like technology. I think this is a death trap for people who are like, I'm going to come to San Francisco and make money. And then everyone gasses them with drugs. And then fucks up their life. And it's a way to do that. I don't know why. It seems like a stupid idea, because then what I do is I record everything and I put it on the internet. And then, I hadn't been doing that, but I just escalate, right? Like this is a stupid thing to do, and this over here is a stupid thing to do, and I'm not going to commit violence. I'll just tell everybody in the world, hey, look, this, you know, if you had someone use their sick children to attempt to give you COVID while also giving you other poisonings that would cause brain damage and eventual death, many of those people are in San Francisco. And I bet there's a lot of families that have 4-year-olds that, like, have used their illness intentionally to sicken and kill people. So, you know, if you wanted to come to San Francisco and be like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that with your 4-year-old, like, I wouldn't mind. Like, it's free speech, right? So it's like, I'm not violent, but these people are so fucking stupid that they use their own kids to hurt people. I mean, I've seen people use 10-year-olds to, like, organize people who are high on fentanyl to go somewhere and, like, sicken people they don't like, just as an example. And so it's like, and they did that when so I picked a public building, right? That had a basement, and I just sat in it for like an hour because I was sick of being around everybody. And literally, metaphysically, and so forth. And so I sat there for an hour, and I come out of the basement of this public building, and a family with a 10-year-old was like laughing as like Hispanic gangsters organized to have someone who's so fucked up on fentanyl go around street corners like and like walk down the sidewalk so he would make other people sick. And what they would do is they would get this guy who was so fucked up on fentanyl that he would just go into stores and like say, I want this, and then they'd give it to him so he'd go away. And they were like fucking with the guy to find out where my cell phone was and where I was, and then like have him walk past me so that like I physically hurt being around him. Now bear in mind, I don't do any drugs. I just want to be left alone. I mean, when I say left alone, this also doesn't include like, hey, oh, I love this shit. See, what are the odds that like every fucking car in the city has a vanity license plate, right? Anyway, so it's like, when I say left alone, that doesn't mean like blacklisted from every chance of having employment ever, and then like not have anyone give me money and see if they can murder me. You know, so anyway, they were doing Brave New World, and I figure that this is now like Big Brother in 1984. So I'm gonna make 5-minute YouTube videos all day today, And then I'm gonna upload them all. And I'm gonna do that. And tomorrow I'm gonna do the same thing. Because what was interesting is, now check this shit out. So I was over at the Target, is south of Mission, right? No, south of Market, fuck it. South of Market. I was over at the Target and I went around the block 5 times for like half an hour. I just went around the block a half dozen times, wearing my coat funny. Like I put it on backwards, or I do silly walks, and then everybody like freaked out, and then all of a sudden, people like started to have sick people come around me. So first of all, they started wearing stupid shirts that were like UCLA and then like college shirts. Like, ooh, you're learning, or ooh, it's a camera, because I was fucking around with the cameras, right? And then they had people who were mentally ill come around me. And then they had people who were mimicking like the way that people from Johnny Mnemonic, the movie, showed their teeth in the movie. And I only figured that out later because somebody posted 3 pictures after I put it on 4chan that were similar to the 3 pictures in Johnny Mnemonic. And the way that I knew that was that one of the pictures, the second one, was of how I acted in a pantomime way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna record it all, and I'm gonna break it, and then I'm gonna get everybody involved in trouble, and then I'm gonna put it on YouTube, and I'm gonna do that until I have like 5,000 videos on YouTube, and then maybe somebody will give me like $1, and then I could buy a sandwich or something. And I'm just gonna do that. That's all I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. Well, until I stop being gaslit. So, I mean, here's the thing. If I act weird in front of the cameras, that means that all of the cameras in San Francisco are being monitored. And one of the guys that drove past on this motorcycle is this black guy that drove past on like this like electric glide motorcycle with like the big front end, like an old school like Harley one. There's a black guy, and he often plays like music at an obnoxious volume. And it's the same black guy, and that asshole's been stalking me for I don't know how long. So, you know, it's like, well, it's like, okay, great, you're a black guy with the Hells Angels in Oakland. Possibly, who knows? But the thing is that, like, why would you give a fuck if I act weird walking around the sidewalk? And if you do, what fucking business is that of yours? Because, you know. So, anyway, I'm gonna just record all this. Oh, here's another block. I'm gonna walk around it weird for like 10 minutes. I'm on the way to buy a fucking roll with an EBT card, by the way. So I'm just gonna walk back and forth weird. And then record the faces of all the people that are around me. For like, see, they'll have somebody walk past me, and then I'll act weird, and then they'll have other people walk past me, like in 5 minutes, because I was supposed to leave the area before they came there. But if you walk in circles, I swear to fucking Christ, this is the Truman Show. And it's like, oh, well, it's, you know, you think everything, it's a movie. Camera. It's like, no, I don't, but I know I'm being fucked with. So I figure, oh, they're using movies. And it's like, oh, why are they using movies? Well, because you're treating homelessness like a movie or something. It's like, no, I'm being treated like I'm being gaslit by assholes like it's a movie because I masturbate to porn. I'm being blacklisted from society and gaslit to fucking movies because of either porn or because I don't want to associate or be friends with people who gaslight me with drugs. You'd think, oh, well, he only likes rich people. No, I don't like jackasses. And I don't And I don't like people who gaslight me with fucking drugs. Or like follow me around using behavioral shit from the general assistance office, because that's not psychology, that's just being an asshole. It's the psychological version of like, it's like technically I suppose it is, but it's like you're being a dick. So I'll find another way to be a dick that's gonna get you in trouble and get you fired and get you everyone to hate you on the planet, and then I'll just do that. So it's like, well, that backfired. And it's like, but it took him so long to figure out. Well, it's like, oh, well, I have 3 years of evidence of how you fuck with somebody. Train. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna explain all of it, put it on the internet, and then it'll be like, oh, well, that was stupid. Oh, so the black dumb fuck gangsters are also doing this shit where it's like, you must be Japanese, and so we're Americans, and we're gonna fuck with you because the Japanese only like things where people are normal and not weird. And because like you like anime and Japanese pornography, therefore you must be Japanese or like Japanese culture. It's like, bitch, do you know what I look like? This is not, none of this is Japanese. So, you know, it's like, I don't, it's like this like, oh, hello, car. It's like this like cultural thing where they're like, oh, well, you know, this culture is terrible because they don't believe in American values or something. It's like, you fuck, I like anime. Like, I like a lot of weird shit. Like, I'll eat a ham sandwich, watch anime, and like, I don't know, on a futon. They fucking invent futons? Like, I just doesn't... So anyway, it's like... Also, my phone is bugged and it's probably live casting because like I went past a bunch of Japanese guys. I don't have anything against them. But yeah, like... I don't know if the idea was like to like give me a plane ticket somewhere else, and then this is supposed to be cultural training through drug abuse and like sociopathy, but I don't take hinting well. I don't like it. All it makes me do is go, oh, you have a system of fucking with somebody. Let me break it. Let me show you how obnoxious it is and let me break it. And I'm just, you know, I'm just walking around the block. Plus, you have to think, like, man, I bet there's some Japanese guys that really don't like being fucked with either. It's sort of stupid, isn't it? It's like, oh, you mean people are so culturally dissimilar that if you, like, took a Japanese guy and, like, fucked with the guy according to, like, cultural values he doesn't understand? Or, like, that he'd be cool with that? Or like... I just, you know what? I don't know. It could be just like some crazy Japanese chick. There's a crazy Japanese chick that's like at the 555 Beale shelter that may be like, oh, this is my version of sadomasochism because I'm a crazy fucking psycho bitch and I can control the people that are around you. There's two people in red and yellow coats, and they like to do shit where it's like, we're gonna have people go around you with weird clothing based on like how you're supposed to feel. To the extent that they've been doing it so often that people went to Ross Dress for Less en masse. So they weren't mistaken for one of the assholes that does it. So, yeah. Oh, and they'll also fuck up your throat, so it's harder to streamcast this shit. It's like, because, of course, the AI has taken over all of the capability of anybody to write anything. And so it's like, how do we make this guy disappear or fuck with him to the ability that he has no, to the extent that he has no ability to reach the outside world? Oh, we'll fuck up his throat, or we'll fuck up his hands, so physically writing things is more difficult, right? Like my hands are all fucked up. It's, you know, and they do this because, oh, hello. And they do this because what they want to do is they want to make it so that you're you're indistinguishable from an artificial intelligence, and therefore can be made to disappear. And the reason they want to do this is because they're indistinguishable from artificial intelligences. They're pissed that all the factory jobs disappeared, and that half the jobs have disappeared because they're shitty at their jobs. Because they're no longer needed in society. It's like, bitch, that's not my problem. That's not my fault. I didn't do that shit. So they'll just say, oh, well, this guy's an ass. And so what we're going to do is we're going to make it so that he has all these diseases and all these problems with him. They make it so that he can't use YouTube to make money and then, like, leave. So it's essentially like half the people are just like obnoxious and jealous that like the guy that they're fucking with isn't so fucked up. And again, like vanity license plates. And you're like, it doesn't matter. And it's like, we're fucking with the guy because, you know, the Japanese don't like it when people act different. And it's like, yeah, and if everyone gasses you with drugs and like fucks up your body when acts stupid, that's sort of similar, isn't it? I mean, that's not acting different. That's because you want to and you think it's fun. That's acting different to be a prick and that you're in on scamming the guy. Like, there's a slight difference. So anyway, it's half these guys just want shitloads of money through AI, and then they're paying the other half the guys to be cunts to people they don't like. And like, who would be like normal people who would say, you know what, this part of AI is good and this part of AI is bad. We should probably not pay like $1 billion to a guy that just wants a fancy boat because he invented a way to like make shoes 10% cheaper because an AI can make them or some shit. You know what I mean? You know, like reasonable people shit. So I'm gonna walk back and forth on this crosswalk a dozen times. Oh, this is nice. A dozen times. There's all these people who hate the automated cars but have money will go out of their way to buy an old expensive car just for the fuck of it. Like everybody here, it's like a war of people who are all jackasses and all want to hate the other guy.